Hey, what's up YouTube? Luso here, Team D Plus Gaming, here to give you the Evilswarm deck profile that I had with me yesterday. A lot of updates to it, kind of explain some of those as I go along. As for the channel, what's going to be happening here in the next probably week or two, Friday, Battle Pack 2 comes out. I will be going to a sealed pack tourney for that on Saturday, I believe. So I'll kind of show you what I pulled there and kind of how I built the deck for that. So you can kind of see kind of what's pulling there. Also, I'll probably have a box opening or two of that. Psychic Wizard might do one as well. And so it's kind of a lot of really good cards coming out in that. A lot of ones that have been kind of too expensive to get until now will be out in there, and for cheaper. You'll be having Plague Spreader Zombie, Tour Bus, Megalo's in there now. Just a lot of really good cards in there. So it'll be interesting to see. The other thing is, in the comments below, I'd like suggestions as for what deck to build next. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish building like Harpies as an actual Harpy deck rather than a burn strategy. But beyond that, I really don't have any projects that I'm working on at the moment that I'm wanting to complete timely. So if you have any suggestions as to what you'd want to see me build or what you think I should build next, please let me know. I will be going to different tournaments and stuff, so I have plenty of opportunities to trade for cards. Plus, like I said, tournaments are a great place to try out decks. Win or lose, it's all about the experience. And so what do you think will be big to build? Elemental Dragons, I know is one that's big right now, and Spellbooks, kind of the top two, along with Evilswarm, which I'm profiling for you guys. But, like I said, what do you think I should be building next, or working on? I'll be happy to take any suggestions on that. So now moving to the deck profile, kind of standard from last time. 2 Rabbit, 3 Heliotrope for the vanilla, 3 Caster, get the additional normal summon. Moved it down to 2 Thunderbird. Again, 3 was really good, but having to make room for some of the new Evilswarm monsters in here. 2 was okay. So it worked out well, able to banish them. Comes back the next turn thanks to Hidden Arsenal 7. And then just so you can make the XYZ the following turn. So nice and easy to protect. Comes back stronger. Can then get over Thunder King, so that's good. Mandragora, 2 of those, special summon if your opponent controls more monsters than you do. So actually, I'm surprised I don't see him in more rank 4 spam decks, just because it's so easy to get on the field. It helps you go into more rank 4 monsters faster. Evilswarm Kirkion, he's the new guy to the mix. With him, you can normal summon him and take and you need to banish one from your graveyard to bring one from your graveyard back to hand, and then you get an additional normal summon after that. So it's extremely broken in the deck. He's a 1-turn Ophion, essentially. In a way, he's better than Rabbit, because with Rabbit you have to at least rely upon having 2 Heliotropes still in the deck, which at times is unfortunately a problem. You can draw into 2 early on, or even first turn, and then draw Rabbit later on, so it's dead already. But with Kirkion, especially late game, top deck that, you can make Ophion in 1 turn, or any other XYZ that you need. Then kind of the new beat stick, I took out Blackluster Soldier just because I don't have the room. We took out the Thunder Kings and stuff. So now there's Dark Arm Dragon in here. With Kirkion, you have a lot of graveyard manipulation, and so he's not that hard to make. I even made him 1 game while having Macrocosmos on the field, was still able to manipulate the graveyard enough. So he's really good, clears the field for you, helps you push for game. And with him, you don't need Pandemic as much, because you can use him to kind of blow through your opponent's spell and traps or monsters, and just destroy them that way. And then take and go into Ophion. They don't have anything set in back row to really prevent you from doing that. And then I'm still running 2 Effect Veilers. It's just really good to be able to negate your opponent's monster effects. So that, plus it's a tuner, drawn to a dead rabbit, set it so your opponent doesn't know what it is, flip it up next turn, summon Effect Veiler, and Synchro for Cataster. So that's kind of the monster lineup. Then you've got your spells, 2 Infestation Pandemics, only running 2 of those, again with Dark Arm Dragon in there. You can take and kind of go through your opponent's back row, so you don't have to worry about that quite as much. Plus, you don't have to worry about drawing it as much, because that can be a really kind of a dead draw. You accidentally draw into a pandemic, and then when you needed a monster or something, or could have used a different spell or trap. So I'm only running 2 of those main decked, although I would highly recommend having the third one side decked for certain matchups where you just need the protection from spell and trap. I made the mistake of not doing that yesterday, and I did pay for it against Karakuris. Went into, all 3 Ophion, and then wasn't able to have anything to search for after the first one, since I had already drawn one, and then, again, really wished I would have had it still in the deck, but, 2 main deck is fine, third in the side would be preferable. 2 Forbidden Dress, again, you really don't need a third one, just because if you draw it, it's dead. And with that, with the ability to special summon Ophion so easy now, that's used more for damage step manipulation, because you can take and use Pandemics to protect your Ophion, and if they happen to destroy it, you can just make another one the next turn with relative ease in this deck. Then Mind Control, again, it's really good against Elemental Dragons. Take their Draco Sack, detach 1 to special summon 2 tokens for yourself as just a defensive wall, and then tribute off Draco Sack for its secondary effect of destroying something on your opponent's side of the field. And so, that's, again, really good. Plus, you can take whatever your opponent has, it can still attack, and then, or if it's 4, just XYZ with it, they don't get it back. So, really versatile. Reinforcement of the Army, again, searches for caster. Book of Moon, great card in here. Out to XYZs and Synchros. Have 2 level 4s on the field, or 2 of any the same level. Just flip 1 over so they can't XYZ with it. Flip over the tuner. Like I said, that just opens up a lot of plays. Plus, if they're trying to attack over like Ophion or something, if they happen to get something on the field, you can just take and Book of Moon their monster. It gives you a turn to figure something out. And then Monster Reborn and Heavy Storm. And Dark Hole kind of finishes out the spell lineup. Didn't have MST's main deck, had 2 on the side, which was enough for the matchups I was going up against. And so it worked out. Again, don't really think you need it main decked, just because you're relying so much on your back row to stop whatever they're doing. And usually your opponent is doing more with monster effects this format, so at the same time, there is potential, the thought to swap Heavy Storm for 1 MST, just because you run a lot of back row, but that's kind of a judgment call. I like that because it works well with Starlight Road. You can Heavy Storm into Starlight Road, protect your own back row, and special summon Stardust in a pinch, so it's always plays to have. Then going on to the trap lineup, 2 Torrential Tribute, 2 Fiendish Chain, 2 Compulsory Evacuation Devices. Compulsory is good, again, XYZs and Synchros, so just out to that, or to save your own monster from a bottomless trap hole or something. When you don't want it banished, bring it back to your hand, just try to get next turn. Fiendish Chains, again, just stops your opponent. Same, kind of an additional effect veiler, so it's like running 4 effect veilers in the deck, which is really good. It stops just about everything. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. Again, that can pick up a lot of things, especially if you run the mirror match. Your opponent does Rabbit, special summons 2 Heliotrope at once. You can catch them both with the same Bottomless Trap Hole. New card to the deck, Memory Loss. There's a lot of monster effects again, so your opponent has a monster in attack position that try to activate the effect. You chain that, negates the effect, and puts it in defense position. So with unbalanced stats, it makes it easier for you to run it over the following turn. I unfortunately wasn't able to draw it yesterday, but it would have been helpful in a couple of matchups. But again, I drew into other things that helped me just as much. Starlight Road, again, some people are wary about that, having Ophion in the deck, but even without being able to special summon Stardust, it's still a good card, and your opponent had to waste a resource trying to get through your back row, and they really didn't. XYZ Reborn, so another card I wasn't able to draw, but it's still really good. You can go into a lot of XYZs, and so they kind of build up in your graveyard. to be able to bring one back with material is a great thing. It can be a game changer, especially late game. Dark Illusion protects any of your dark monsters from a targeting effect, which there are a ton of those, and plus whatever targeted it is destroyed. So if there's a monster, spell, trap, whatever, it's gone. Solemn Warning and Judgment, again, self-explanatory. You just need to run those. Then moving on into the extra deck real fast. Ally Justice Catastor, Stardust Dragon. Like I said, Starlight Road for Stardust, Effect Veiler if you need to for Catastor, kills anything that's not dark, and there's not too many dark decks in this format except for the mirror match, so that works. Abyss Dweller shuts off graveyard effects. Maestroke, Book of Moon or Stall if you need it. Excalibur, if you happen to run into a warrior matchup like Heroes or something, you can Monster Reborn one of theirs and go into it, or otherwise you have Caster. So if you have two casters, you can go into that. Photon Pappy, great if your opponent puts something face down. Flip it face up, lose a 600 attack. Thanatos, great in the mirror match. You detach ones unaffected by monster effects, so they can't steal it with Bahamut. 2 Evilswarm Bahamut. You probably wouldn't ever go into 2 in the same game. However, if you're going second, it's a really good card. If you have the resources for it, steal whatever they made first turn, and then attack them with it. So it usually gets over whatever wall they have, if they have like a high attack monster that they happen to make. Utopia, just generic. I took out C39 again. There's just better cards to have in here. Up to 3 Ophion now, and XYZ Reborn, so it's kind of like 4 Ophion. Shuts down special summoning, and then you don't have to be afraid to lose one because you can bring it right back. Again, just to be able to bait out your opponent's traps with your stronger monsters is something that they're not expecting, and a lot of people can't do because they don't have the resources for. So with that, having the resources to kind of bait out their traps with Ophion, they think they're taking advantage of a situation or something, but then you just make another Ophion or bring it back with XYZ Reborn. It really kind of shuts them down. Shockmaster, a new card to the deck, added that in, really good against spellbooks, call spells, E-Dragons, monster effects, actually help me against Empty Jar, but with Catastor and Kyrkion, you can actually make XYZ that requires 3 level 4s in a single turn, so you don't have to kind of wait around and hope, set one face down, and then take and hope to make 2 the next turn. Maybe you can just make all 3 of them in one turn for it. And of course, Ouroboros, again, easy to make, or easier to make, and so it's not unreasonable to have it in here anymore. So yeah, this is the Evilswarm deck as I have it built. Questions, comments below. Always open to feedback. If you like what you see, like and subscribe the channel and video. And other than that, it's Luso, Team D Plus Gaming, signing out.